Awesome. Welcome, guys, to the Daily Mastermind. I'm Paul Baxter with Mortgage Mastermind Group. I am definitely here to help you grow. Guys, what we're going to be talking about today is how to use your social media sites like Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google+, Twitter, and Pinterest to generate SEO juice on Google. I've got a presentation for you and all the information, so let's go ahead and dive right into how to use your social profiles for to get search engine optimized. So on the Daily Mastermind in the past, we've talked about the Hummingbird update. Now, what Hummingbird is, for those that don't know, it was an update that Google did to its algorithm, which was the biggest update they had ever done. The emphasis that we have talked about with Hummingbird on our classes has always been on the long tail keywords, using search keys in your videos and blog posts to answer questions that your customers may have. You know, what Google found out is with the use of mobile, and mobile device use is growing 300 to 400% year over year, and Google started recognizing this trend very early on, and that's when they started developing the Hummingbird software. People reported, and through their polls and customer surveys, they discovered that the mobile user was having a by far better user experience with the Google search than the desktop users were. And they started recognizing the trends in that, and most of it was because Android phones have a service called Google Now, and what Google Now, my iPhone users, it's very similar to what you have with Siri. It's just powered by Google, so it's called Google Now, and what it does is it allows you to do a voice search with Google. So you would open it up, and you speak a sentence to it, and it will search for your sentence. So you would say something like, I need a mortgage expert in Palm Harbor. What Google found is that people were not searching via the mobile device and with the voice by just saying mortgage expert. They were saying a full sentence, I need a mortgage expert in Palm Harbor. And because of that, the way that they were searching in a semantic fashion, Google started trending its search results in a semantic fashion, and that's what Hummingbird brought to fruition, was the ability to use a semantic search term to bring the best search engine page results to the end user, and that's what Google's all about, is the user experience. Now, updates to the Hummingbird update itself have increased the importance of our social media sites in these search results, and that's what I want to focus on today. We have in the past been focusing on the long tail keywords and the semantics, but today we're going to focus on the social side of it. Specifically, Hummingbird is also Google's official transition into semantic search, meaning a switch to trying to determine what someone is looking for instead of only using the keywords typed into the search bar. In essence, Google is trying to determine a user's intent. Okay, that's what Hummingbird's all about. Now, semantic search has a very social component in that Google search is attempting to understand what a searcher wants so that it can answer the queries meaningfully, not just with keyword-dense content. That's very important to remember, is that it's looking for the intent of the searcher, not just the keyword-dense content. Because Google wants to give the most relevant results, it uses social media to measure and determine which content is best and which writers are the most authoritative. That's a big part to remember, is that it's looking for what is the best content, but also which writers of the content have the most amount of authority. That's where the social indicators come in. Quality content by trusted sources is shared more often, making it more relevant to Google. So it's using social indicators. And you guys may have started noticing this in some of your own Google searches as you're doing them. You may start seeing, when you do a Google search, you'll start to see Facebook.com business pages show up in those Google page search results. Does this mean that a clout score is relevant? I have heard of Clout, Rich, but I am not familiar with what Clout actually is. Is that one of the sites kind of like Hootsuite that allows you to manage all of your social media in one space? I'm not that familiar with Clout. I have heard of it once or twice, but I don't know how it works. It scores the social media interaction. So yes and no. Now, as far as search engine page results, as far as what we're talking about today, Clout is not relevant for that. But if you've got a good score in Clout, what it's scoring based on what you're telling me here is the engagement portion of it. All marketers know, and I will speak till I'm blue in the face about the proper way to use Facebook is all about the engagement that you're doing. It's not about posting something that's going to, oh my gosh, trigger somebody to say they need to do a loan with you. What Facebook is all about is how many people can you engage with on a personal level, develop relationships with, and then over time when their need comes for our services, because they consider us a friend through our social media sites based on our engagement, that's how business takes place. Or a friend sees that and they look us up via our About Us section. As we all know, our About sections are the #1 click sections on any of our websites, and that includes our business fan pages on Facebook. So it's important to have those things there. But as far as your Clout score helping you with search engine optimization, not quite as much as what we're going to be talking about today, but I have to believe that it has a certain relevance in that space because of what Google is saying right here about that it's looking for the best content from the best authors based on the number of shares and likes, which I'm assuming is what accounts to your Clout score. You're going to get that indicator shown to Google that, hey, this guy is relevant. There's a lot of people sharing and liking what he's doing based on what his score in Clout is. So yes and no is the answer to that, Rich. And I hope I was able to explain that properly to you. All right, so with this knowledge in mind that Google is taking social indicators, we need to make sure that our social presence that we've got on the internet, that our social presence keeps you and makes you relevant in your area. So what I'm talking about as far as our social presence is our Facebook, and I'm talking about our profile as well as our fan page. I'm talking about LinkedIn, and for those of you who were here, you remember 2 weeks ago we did an entire 2 days on LinkedIn and utilizing our LinkedIn profile, and one of the things that we talked about was our About section or our summary on LinkedIn and how to spruce that up, because not only are people going to look for it there, especially the people you're connecting with, but it does give us a certain level of search engine optimization juice that can boost our rankings. Google Plus is kind of an obvious one. Google wants, Google's all about promoting their own stuff. So Google Plus is obviously a big place to make sure that you've got social indicators, or you're showing Google that you're authoritative in your specific keyword phrases. YouTube is also owned by Google, and there carries a lot of weight there. Now, most of you guys know or remember we did a class specifically about search engine optimization for individual YouTube videos. What we're going to talk about today with YouTube is your actual channel and making it have an About section that gives you some search engine optimization juice. Twitter and Pinterest as well. You do get a little bit from those two. Now, the dilemma with those two is you cannot do your full About section. You're limited to 160 characters on both of these sites, but you can still utilize a keyword phrase that can help you optimize those for that, and again, show more authority to Google for search engine page results. The key element there is you're going to tell the same story on all of those sites. You want your information on all of those social sites to match around the board. You want people to see that you're, no matter where they find you, they're getting this fantastic information about you. They get to know who you are. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Facebook. And we're going to begin with our profile. So you're going to go to Facebook, and you're going to go to your profile, and you're going to click your About tab. Now, if you don't know how to get to your own Your profile is different than your home screen. Your home screen is your news feed. Your profile is your timeline where people go to find out about you. So you're going to click your name to go to your profile, and then underneath your banner image, just click About. That will take you into your About tab. Once you're in your About section, select the Details About You option. It'll pop up on the left-hand side. You're just going to click that button that says Details About You, and that's going to pop up a section that says About You. Write some details about yourself. Now, in these details about yourself, there are two main purposes. First purpose is you get to tell a story of who you are. You're going to give a summary of who you are, who you help, and how you help them, right? You're going to use keyword phrases for your main search criteria. So in my description or in my About section, I want to utilize some of the SEO knowledge that we've talked about before with keyword phrases, social indicators, my main keyword, but in a sentence form to create a semantic answer to a semantic question being asked of Google. I need a mortgage expert in Palm Harbor, Florida. Central Florida's best mortgage expert. That's a semantical answer to the question, I need a mortgage expert in Palm Harbor, Florida. Central Florida's best mortgage expert is an answer to that semantical question with optimization. That's keyword phrasing. Mortgage lender in Central Florida, Tampa Bay mortgage professional. So you see where I'm going with that. You can create a keyword phrase that makes sense for you and what you do and your local area. You want to make sure you include those local indicators because that's a major portion of the algorithm with Hummingbird. They want to bring localized results when somebody's looking for a specific product or service. Right? So you're going to write your summary, very similar to the class we went through on LinkedIn, where you talk about who you are, how you help them. Hey, I'm a father of two, living in the Palm Harbor area. I love being Central Florida's best mortgage expert. It gives me an opportunity to help people buy the home of their dreams. There's no greater feeling as a Central Florida's best mortgage expert than helping a brand new first-time home buyer get into the home of their dreams. It's also exceptionally fun to watch a couple that's been in a home for a long time get a renovation loan that helps them be able to redo their entire homes and start from scratch. It's like kids in a candy store watching them in their new home. Paint a picture, tell a story. That's what your About section is for, but include your keyword phrases to help you with the SEO juice. Now, once you've written it one time, you've only got to do this one time. We're going to be using this same description in About section, spruced up with our keywords, that paints a picture, tells the story of who you are, who you help, and how you help them, with your SEO juice in there. That's going to be the same About, the same description across the board. Remember, those two reasons that I talked about. People are going to seek you out and who you are. It's your About section is the #1 button clicked on our websites, including our fan pages. And then the other reason is Google will see these keyword phrases in your profile and begin seeing you as an authority. It helps with SEO for all things you author. So posts, everything like that, it boosts it the more social indicators that you're showing to Google. Now, before you save the changes when you create or update your About section, this is especially true on your personal profile. You must select to make it public. You don't want to hide your About section on your personal profile. You have to make it public or the search engine spiders don't see it. If it's not public information, then it doesn't get SEO'd, right? That makes sense. Everybody's on the same page with that? You want to make sure that by default, now based on my settings, it's my own settings, by default it came up friends. Some of yours may come up public by default already. It just depends, again, on your personal settings inside of Facebook when you do it. But once you've made it public, then you save changes. Once you've done that on your personal profile, you're going to do the same exact thing on your business page or fan page. Again, you just go to your business page like you're looking at it. You click the About button. on your business page. What that's going to do is take you into your About section. You can click the Edit pencil right here from your About section. Once you hover over the section, it'll pop that up. Now, when you click that Edit button, it's going to take you into your settings and your page info settings. That's where your short and long descriptions are. I highly recommend that you populate every bit of information that is available in your page info settings. The reason I say that is because each one of these items is what is called a data field. Google looks at websites, data fields, determines whether or not there is content in a data field. If it sees content, it considers the site to be data rich. If it does not see content or empty data fields, it considers the site to be data poor. Data rich equates to authoritative, data poor, no authority. Again, so what you're doing is each one of those little pieces to the puzzle add a little bit to the algorithm and the number that help you get your search engine optimization. So on a sidebar above and beyond our description in our About section, make sure you've populated all the sections that are possible so that you've got what Google looks at as a data-rich site versus a data-poor site. Start with your short description. That's going to limit you to a number of characters. This is more like a title of your About section. You're going to kind of give your About section a title, right? Once you've done that, you're going to go into the long description section and edit that, and simply copy and paste the same About section that you did on your personal profile into your long description on your business page. It's the same thing. You're mimicking or repeating the information. Okay, copy and paste the About from your profile. You can use the same About for all of your profiles that we're going to touch on today. Other than Twitter and Pinterest, we got to change them up a little bit. Just make sure that the first time it has all of the essential SEO juice that you need to get that authority. You need to have that key phrase in there. Make sure it's got a local indicator to it. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about with the essential SEO in them. The next thing you're going to do is your Google Plus so go to google.com and click where it has the plus symbol and your name next to it. If you don't see a plus symbol with your name next to it, you're not signed into Google. Just sign in. So when you click that plus symbol with your name, you're going to your Google Plus account. Now, any account that was set up in Google prior to last month, you automatically have a Google Plus account. Google stopped automatically creating Google Plus accounts at I want to say it was like the midpoint, September 10th or 13th. Somewhere in the midpoint of September is when Google made their announcement that they're no longer, when you set up a Google account, it no longer automatically creates a Google Plus account for you. So, but most of us on this call, we've got a Google account. If you set up a new one, you will have to go to google.com/plus and set up your own Google Plus account. But once you do, you'll always be logged into Google like this. You'll have this anytime you go to Google. You'll have that little Google Plus symbol there once you add that account as one of your applications that you're using. Okay? So when you click on Google Plus, it's going to take you to your home screen. Just like on Facebook, your home screen is your news feed. Your home screen means what's interesting to you, who you're connected with, things like that. So what you've got to do is come over to the left-hand side here, and you're going to drop down the little home menu right here, and that's going to give you all of your options. The first option is your profile. That's where you need to go on Google Plus to update your About section on Google Plus. When you get to your profile, you're going to click on the About tab. On the bottom, it's the first one farthest to the left underneath your profile picture. When you click on your About tab, it's going to take you into all of your About sections, and that's people, stories, work, links. There's, I think, 5 different sections in there. We're just going to focus on 2 of them for now. Again, just like what I said on Facebook a few minutes ago, You want to have any data fields that are available to you populated, because you want Google to see that you are a data-rich site. That goes the same for Google. Google Plus, you want to be seen as having a data-rich site, so make sure that you've got all those population fields or all those data fields populated with information. For your About section, though, on Google Plus, you're going to go to Story. Story is your description, right, your introduction, and then Edit. When you get there, you're just going to click the Edit button underneath it. That's going to take you into where you've got the box there. You've got a little tagline. Again, make sure it's public. You're going to paste in your introduction that you used on your personal profile on Facebook as well as your business profile on Facebook. Just paste it in there. Make sure it says public. And then something really cool that Google has down here on the bottom says bragging rights. What bragging rights is basically meta tags. Those are the key important things. Those are the big key important things. So put in there any designations you've got, you know, FHA 203K loan expert, first-time home buyer expert, reverse mortgage expert, VA loan expert. Put those things in there because those are meta tags. That's what that section is kind of used for. And again, make sure that you mark it as public. Okay? Once you've done that, you're going to click your Save button. Make sure that your entire About section on Google Plus is set. Again, you want to be data rich. Each field is an indicator to Hummingbird. Having them all filled equals data rich, and Hummingbird likes that for authority indicators. As a side note, a little ninja tip for you guys. This is not about your About section, but as a side note, for some additional Google juice, you can use the Links section. It's a very special section on Google. It ties directly in with SEO. It allows you to tell Google what websites you contribute to, including other social media sites, and it's pretty easy to set up your contributor to section. You're going to, just like that, the story section, you've got a box just like this that says links. So in your links, you're going to click that edit button on the very bottom of it, and that's going to bring you into a page that looks like this. And under the second section says contributor to. All you have to do is click on add custom link. You give that a name, the name of your website, and you put the direct URL address. That's your contributor to. And once you've added all the websites and pages that you contribute to, again, including your Facebook fan pages and profiles, social media profiles, you click Save. What you've just done is you've told Google that you are an author on all of those different sites. Google now knows that you are an author on multiple places. It's an indicator of authoritative. It's an indicator of your authority on the subjects that those sites relate to. And so when somebody does a Google search and they find one of those sites based on your search engine optimization, your Google Plus profile image will come up with it as social proof. That little image carries more weight than we care to think about in terms of action on a site. It can increase the number of action takers on your post if that little picture comes up by 43%. Will Google search and view those sites? No, they certainly won't. But you cannot show that you're an authority to sites that you don't have access to. Okay? So they're not gonna. They're just gonna look to see if they are actually relevant to what your search is. You're wasting time if you're not doing stuff that's relevant to your business. So you make sure that your authority, your contributorships revolve around what your main keyword phrases are that you want to optimize for, because it's all these pieces work together to create one big picture or a puzzle at the end of the day. The next one you're going to do, you're going to set up and make sure looks just like everything else or gives you the SEO that you need, is on YouTube. So you're going to go to youtube.com. When you're there, again, if you're signed into Google, it'll automatically come in as you're signed into your YouTube. If you have a Google account, you automatically have a YouTube channel. You already have it. It's nothing you've got to do extra. When you get to YouTube, if you're signed in, on the left-hand side, you're going to see some options, and one of those options is My Channel. If you don't see them, just click on the little hamburger menu here, and it'll pop those items up. But by default, it typically comes up. So click on My Channel. That's going to take you into your channel. Again, you're going to click on your About tab. Pretty simple stuff so far. Everything has been right in par with what we're doing, guys. Nothing has been unusual or technical in any of this. We simply click on our About section. When we get to our About section, on the very far right, when we hover over our About, we get that little edit pencil that comes up, right? When we click the edit pencil, we can now edit our channel description. We copy and paste the description again from our Facebook profile and our Facebook fan page, the same one we used on Google Plus just a minute ago. We paste that baby in there and click Done. Now we've shown that our channel is important to those search terms that we're utilizing. So you click that Done button, and that's all there is to it. Your channel is set. You're good to go. You've got that SEO that you need on the back end for that social channel or for that social site. It's attached to you. Another piece to the puzzle. We're starting to get a full image. The next step, let's go to Twitter. You got to get your Twitter going in the same fashion. You want to, so you don't necessarily, and here's the thing that a lot of you guys are like, wow, I got to be active on all these social sites. No. You don't need to be active on all these social sites. You just have to have this About section set up the right way with the right search engine optimization terms that will help you get the SEO you need, because you're just looking for social indicators. All we really want to be searchable in and active on is Google. That's where the leads and that's where people search when they're looking for something, is Google. And we want to be active on Facebook. But we've had, again, we did a class about using Facebook for business or creating a Facebook formula. We did that about 3 weeks ago, where we broke down what to do, exactly how to do a Facebook formula on a five-step process, making sure that you're doing your daily 10s, making sure that you're doing your post on a daily. You can be active on Facebook. That's where you want to be active. What we're doing now is we're simply optimizing for the social indicators within the Hummingbird software that's going to give us a leg up on our competition in terms of search engine optimization, right? So on Twitter, you're going to go to Twitter. You're going to click on the word Me up at the very top towards the left. It's kind of more towards the middle, but it's on the left. So when you click on Me, that takes you to your personal profile on Twitter. On the very far right on Twitter, you're going to have the Edit Profile button. Now, I mentioned that this is a little bit different than the Google Plus and the Facebook profiles and the LinkedIn profiles. We're limited to 160 characters. I know I've got it 140 characters here, but it's 160. I apologize for the difference in number. I'm seeing that now. It's 160 characters that you have to choose from. So what you've got to do is you've got to take your description, and you've just got to use your keyword title and your local indicator. So here's a sample title based on, if I'm doing it for mortgages, is it your information center and mortgage expert for Palm Harbor, Florida. That would be my description here. It's pretty telling. Your information center, so they know they can get information, and mortgage expert for Palm Harbor, Florida. Mortgage expert, Palm Harbor, Florida are my indicators. Based on all the other indicators that I've got, Google sees me as an authority. Things that I may do on Twitter, it may show my Twitter account as being relevant in a Google search because of the other things. I may have 4 or 5 different items on the home page or on the search engine page result for Google. Professional redfish tournament angler chasing reds from Palm Harbor, Florida. Once you're done, once you've done your description, again limited to 160 characters, you're going to click the Save button. Save changes, right? That's all there is to it. Once you've done that, your next step is to go to Pinterest, and we're going to do the same thing on Pinterest. Get the Pinterest site set up and socially optimized so that we can get the search engine optimization juice that we're looking for. So on Pinterest, Pinterest has changed a little bit since the last time I looked at it, so I had to kind of click around a little bit before I made these next couple of slides, and it's only because I don't spend a lot of, I don't do much Pinteresting. I'm just being straight up. I don't do much on Pinterest. My wife is on it constantly. I know she loves it. I don't do much on Pinterest, but I know that it's another social site that carries a social indicator. So whether you use it or not doesn't make any difference to today's strategy. You want to be doing these things on all the social sites because there's indicators there. Whether you're active on it or not doesn't make much of a difference. So when you go to Pinterest, what you're going to do is you're going to click your name over on the far right-hand side. There's a picture of you. You're going to click your name. That's going to take you over to your own profile. That's where your boards are and things like that. What you're going to do then is you've got this little sprocket or the settings section for Pinterest. You're going to click that over by the title of your name, and that's going to drop down a little menu. From there, you're going to select the Edit Profile button. When you click Edit Profile, that brings up all the particulars. Okay, that's the important stuff, and that's where your About section is. This, again, is limited to 160 characters, so you're simply going to copy and paste exactly what you did from Twitter right into Pinterest. Have them match themselves. Okay, have them match. That way all of your social media pretty much tells the exact same story all around the board, right? You do not have to be actively posting on all these sites to be seen in the search results. People who search for you specifically will get a great about you message, but they'll get it in multiple ways, meaning they'll see you come up multiple times with your social sites in the same search engine page results, and it's all telling the same story. It's a reiteration of the facts. People who search for your key phrase will find you organically in the search engine page results. If somebody, based on those things, I've got 6 different social sites, all that say Central Florida, Palm Harbor, Florida, mortgage expert, and I'm seen by Google as an authority on that subject. I'm going to get found organically based on that. So that's all there is to taking some very basic and some very easy steps to making your social media actually work for you. You couple that, just taking those basic steps and making sure your About sections are set up correctly, making sure that you've got your About Me done and it's perfect and it matches across all the social platforms, and then just choose one that you like to stay active in. You're going to be seen as an authority by Google, and you're going to get a lot of search engine page results based on that. Now, obviously, I skipped the LinkedIn thing because, again, we talked about that about a week ago. For those that missed that class, let me go into LinkedIn again. From the home, when you get logged in, you're going to be logged in at home. You start out on LinkedIn at home. Just go to your profile. If you hover over that About section, there's your About section. You can click the Edit. And now I can edit any one of these pieces that are in my About section. And again, this is where, coming up with those keyword terms in the right way where people search, they're going to find you. It's a copy and paste situation. The same profile information here as you would have had on any of your social media sites. Copy and paste. Just put the same thing in each of your sites. And if you've got multiple fan pages, let's say you're doing multiple fan pages, put that same About section in all of your fan pages. because the Google searches are starting. It's a trend that I started noticing a couple of months ago, but it's getting more and more. Your search engine page results are starting to show social media sites as the best possible result, and that's a trend based on the Hummingbird software update. And it's really, really making us focus on making sure that we're saying the same things across all platforms. Our social media sites is the big indicator. So that's what I've got for you today, guys and girls. Is there any questions that you guys have? I know I covered, like I said, it's kind of a long presentation in terms of number of pages, but it's mostly a lot of, I wanted to make sure that you had the steps and saw the images of the different social sites and where to go to click the button to actually do this update for your About sections on each and every one of them. So does anybody have any questions about a site? Did I go too fast on a specific one? Do you need to see where to do it on your personal profile again? Do you need to see how to change that to public? Anybody need some help on the About section on your fan pages or on Twitter, on LinkedIn, wherever you're doing this? Well, that's a good thing. Actually, I don't know. It's kind of a good thing. That means that I explained myself very well and you guys understood exactly what I was saying and explaining it, or the content was completely boring and you guys are completely disinterested. It's one or the other. I'm hoping for the former rather than the latter. I'm not very Pinterested either, but I'll follow through with what you're teaching me. Awesome. I recommend that you do just to get the profile set and your About section set, and then you don't have to do anything with it anymore. I think the more PowerPoint pages that you have, the easier it is for us to implement, and that was the goal. You know, with this one, because I'm talking about going to specific sections and click a button, I wanted to make sure that you saw it. So. But that being said, it's a lot of pictures, not a whole lot of talking through. Awesome. Well, good stuff. I'm glad to have helped you. Guys, girls, that is all I've got for today. If you don't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and close up early. Start implementing this stuff. You got 15 minutes right now. Shoot, if you have a profile on each one of those sites, all you really have to do is take the one main write-up that you've got, and most of you, if you followed or implemented the strategy on LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago, you've already gotten a well-written description of yourselves. You've just got to edit it a little bit to make it search engine optimized. Go through each one of your social media sites, copy and paste it right in there like I just showed you how to do, and you're good to go. You can start that SEO going as early as today. So that's it for today, guys and girls. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you spending your time. I know we're a couple of minutes early, but I think, you know, you guys, it seems that you understand what today's lesson was. Get out there, get your social media sites working for you. Match them up with your profile About sections and let that start working for you. You know, if Google's going to put out Hummingbird and they're going to use social indicators, use them to your advantage, guys and girls. That's it for today. Hope you had a fantastic, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you right back here, same time, same channel on Monday. Have a great day, everybody. Bye now.